Hello everyone, and welcome back to Classic Comics. Back here with another comic review. This is Joker number 6. This issue again has the same creative team, James Tynion writing and Guillaume March doing the art. Now, in the last issue, and I'll put a link for that in the video, Jim Gordon was caught by the Joker, and then the Samson family and that female version of Bane showed up and tried to kill Joker. The Joker got away, of course, but before leaving he told Gordon that he was not responsible for the bombing of Arkham Asylum. Now, Tynion starts this issue by giving us some background on the Samson family. They had a relative in Arkham Asylum who was killed in the bombing, and that's why they want Joker dead. So we get a flashback to 50 years ago, and the Samsons are cannibals. They've captured this girl, and they're planning to kill her and eat her, but she manages to escape. Now they chase her into a swamp. They don't find her, but they do find oil in the swamp, which is on their land. And, the next thing you know, old Jed's a millionaire, and with their wealth, they're able to get the victim to recant most of her testimony. And in the end, the youngest member of the family is the only one, this big guy here, he's the only one that goes to jail. So the Samsons, they're kind of a mix of, the cannibals from Texas Chainsaw Massacre and the Clampetts from the Beverly Hillbillies. Sure, why not? So now the patriarch of the family, and this is him here, Sawyer, he sent his granddaughter and grandson after the Joker. Now in the last issue, the grandson was injured by the Joker, and he's talking with the granddaughter, and she's gotten him to a doctor, and he's getting fixed up. And the elder Samson, of course, wants to know where the Joker is. We then go to Paris. And Gordon is here because Oracle tracked Joker to the city. He makes some inquiries about the Joker's whereabouts, and he gets beaten up by some local goons. Then he and Oracle have a conversation. This part of the issue is kind of boring, actually. As I've said before, you can have issues that are mostly dialogue, and they can work if the writer is good enough. And Tynion usually is. But he's kind of pushing it here. Anyway, Oracle talks about how Santa Prisca, the island that Bane is from, of course, that's where that female version of Bane came from, and they don't know what's going on Santa Prisca. She's been trying to get information, but she hasn't really been having any luck getting any intel from there. And she also hasn't really been able to do much about learning more about Cressida, the woman who enlisted Gordon to go after the Joker in the first place. Now, we know that Cressida is connected to the Court of Owls, but they don't know that yet. During their conversation, Oracle slips a code phrase into their discussion that lets Gordon know that she thinks she's being watched. And Gordon, frustrated at his inability to get information, goes to a phone and he calls Bullock. Now, Bullock, who had replaced Gordon as commissioner, he recently quit. And now he's going into being a private detective. So Gordon calls him up and hires him to do some digging in Gotham because Gordon isn't there and can't do it himself. But he calls Bullock from a public phone, a payphone. Do they even still have those? I mean, here in America, they're almost impossible to find now. But I don't know. I mean, does Paris still have payphones? Does anyone know? I don't know. But it was kind of jarring to see a character on a payphone. When is the last time you've even seen one? Anyway, while he's on the phone, the police arrive to arrest him. And he's told that his fingerprints were found at a murder scene at some laboratory. And Gordon realizes that the Joker has set him up. And the issue ends there. Now, there's a backup story involving Punchline, co-written by Tynion. I don't really care. I didn't even bother reading it. So, whatever. But I've been enjoying this series so far. It's been fairly slow, but Tinian is such a good writer, I didn't mind the slower pace until now. This issue is just dull. It's just boring. No action, a lot of talking and setting things up for later issues. It's the first issue of this series I haven't liked. But this one, it's kind of a thumbs down for me. Too little plot advancement, too little action, too many pages of characters just chit-chatting. March's art is very good, as always, but there's just not much he can do with what Tinian has given him to work with here. Lots of medium to close shots of people talking and talking. It seems like a storyboard for an episode of Law and Order, or CSI. Tinian is leaving the book soon, in November, I think, and I'm not sure if I'll keep up with it once he leaves. It'll need to improve if that's going to happen. But anyway, that's it for this review, so let me know what you thought of this issue in the comments, and please like this video before you leave. It really does help the channel out. Also, please subscribe and hit the bell for notifications, and I will see you all next time. Thanks for watching.